Speaking of big things coming up.
And our word of the day on this memorial of St. Charles Lwanga and companions, martyrs, all on this Monday, June the 3rd. Our words for today, his own. Our words for today. And here to talk about it is Father Mark Davis. Good morning, Father Mark.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing great. I decided to give you 2 words because I haven't done that in a few weeks.
Yep, I was just going to say, you know what? I don't know who taught you first grade. The word of the day.
I didn't do well in first grade.
The word of the day, his own. The word of the day.
We belong to him. That's the word of the day.
Oh, my gosh. So June 3rd, right? Happy June. Today is my dad's birthday.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday. Heavenly birthday to your father.
Absolutely. He was born in 1915. So he would have been 109 today.
Nice.
And so his 10th anniversary of his passing is August.
Wow, so he lived to be 99, Father.
He did. My dad was such a wonderful man. He never complained about a birthday. Yeah, every time, he turned another year, he'd just say, well, it beats the alternative.
Well, now I bet he's loving the alternative.
I bet he is. And he's very much with us. So today, this reading is the vineyard, and we're coming off of this weekend of the Feast of Corpus Christi, where we remember that Jesus is really present in the Eucharist. And this whole thing so today's reading talks about it's all life is God's own, is his own. In other words, everything we have is God's, and all the goods of the world is made by God and given to us to be able to use by everyone. It's really God's world, and then we're happy if we're servants in it. Any authority we have should be to serve the bigger picture and to God. And I was just thinking about the Eucharist. And since we really believe that Jesus is present in the Eucharist, then why don't we just have a religious experience every time we go to communion? Why don't we just get blown away? And it reminded me of a story that I think I first heard by a priest when I was in elementary school, Ron and Dave. Seriously, and it's the one about the person who prayed all the time. They were always praying. Oh, God, give me please, God, please. Give me a parking space. Give me a ripe a watermelon. They're praying all the time for everything, and they're almost like tunnel visioned that God, and they have served God with their whole life and done a lot of great things for God, and God's always come through. And so then, of course, the flood happens, and then the waters, they're on their porch and the waters start rising, and it's above the sidewalks, and then a big 4-wheeler, huge truck comes up and said, hop in, we're going out of town. We can go to safety. He says, no, God's going to save me. And then the water comes up over his porch, and he goes up to the second floor. The water rises. A boat comes by. Say, hop in. So, no, I'm still praying God's going to save me himself. And then finally, it's a small house, and he's on the roof, and a helicopter comes by, says, come, go to safety. And he says, no, I know God will save me himself. And, of course, he dies, and then he goes right to God and says, I am so angry. Why didn't you save me? And God just looks at him and says, look, I sent a truck, a boat, and a helicopter. What do you want from me? And again, I think I told it twice yesterday. No one laughed because everyone knows it. But I think how many miracles, like the Eucharist, are right in front of us and we miss it? Do we miss it? Do we miss because our minds are shut? Our hands are clenched, and we are so preoccupied by how busy we are about the worries in our heads and our fear-based thoughts, which are all illusion. We don't know and remember that God has us all the time, and how often do we miss it? And today's word from these reading, His own, reminds us that everything is God's, and it's not ours. It's His own, not our own. And so God really calls us today, and Jesus in this parable is saying, how often do we use our own power and resources for us and only us? Because it's only when we realize that our life and our world is His own that we can become a servant to God, which will give us real power and real joy and real freedom, so that we can see the miracles not only in the Eucharist that are all around us every day. Friends, we really need to be able to have a great week so we can see the miracles, so we can show others the miracle of God every day in their life.